A hacked personal Gmail account just exposed one of the most secretive military relationships in the Middle East. Leaked internal documents shows Israel's largest defense contractor has been quietly negotiating billions of dollars in advanced weapons sales to the UAE. Deals that were never officially announced. Here's everything the leak reveals. Let's start with how this even came out. According to Harrods, the documents originated from the personal Gmail account of a senior Elbit Systems executive, someone who was apparently using a personal account for sensitive company business instead of Elbit's secure internal system. That account was reportedly hacked by a group called Hendala, which is linked to Iranian intelligence. The documents were then published online, and the Harrods says, I think it's they pronounce it Harrods, says it verified and cross-checked the material before reporting on it. So right off the bat, there are two stories tangled together here. What the documents actually reveal and the fact that major Israeli defense contractor apparently had serious lapses in how it handled sensitive information. Now, the content itself, the documents detail extensive proposal to sell the UAE advanced drones, intelligence gathering aircraft, electronic warfare systems, and precision guided weapons and missiles. One of the biggest figures, a proposed Emirati fleet of 45 Hermes 900 drones valued at roughly $3.1 billion. The UAE had reportedly first sought 15 of these systems before expressing interest in the expanding that number significantly. There's also a striking timing detail. According to the documents, Elbit responded to an urgent operational request from the UAE just weeks after Houthi missiles and drones struck Abu Dhabi in January 2022, an attack that killed three people and exposed real gaps in the UAE's air defenses. In other words, this was not abstract deal making, it was a direct response to the UAE getting hit and immediately going shopping for better defenses. The documents also point to earlier discussions, a 2021 memo describing a meeting where Elbit got authorization to sell the UAE a Hermes 900 surveillance drone paired with the Sky Striker loitering munition and even floated the NPR 2000 bunker penetrating bomb. So, here's the part that makes this a real story rather than just a routine defense industry leak. None of this was officially announced. This is the largely undisclosed side of the relationship that formed after the Abraham Accords in 2020, sorry, and the relationship clearly didn't stay small. Harrods reports that during the recent Iran war, Israel deployed Iron Dome batteries in the UAE, and the Prime Minister Netanyahu reportedly made a secret visit to Abu Dhabi during that conflict. So, what started as a diplomatic normalization deal has apparently evolved into a real active military partnership, just one that's mostly happened out of public view. Per scale, Harrods reports Israeli arms exports hit a record $90 billion in 2025, with almost 3 billion out of that going to Abraham Accords countries and roughly 9 billion in cumulative sales to those countries since 2021, with the UAE and Morocco getting the largest share. So, why does this matter beyond the dollar figure? A few reasons. First, it shows how much of a modern Middle East security cooperation happens quietly. Official diplomacy on the surface and a much deeper military relationship underneath that rarely gets confirmed publicly. Second, there's a geopolitical irony here worth sitting with. This leak was published by hackers linked to the Iranian intelligence, meaning one of the Israel's regional rival is now the one exposing the details of Israel's military partnership with its Gulf allies. There's a pretty direct extension of the broader Iran-Israel Gulf rivalry playing out through leaked documents instead of the missile this time. And third, for Elbit, this raises real questions about corporate security practices. When executives are apparently discussing $1 billion sensitive defense deals over personal email. So, a personal So a personal email account, a suspected Iranian linked hack, and one of the clearest windows yet into the real scale of Israel UAE military cooperation since the Ibrahim Accords. Elbit par its part told Hartes it doesn't comment on customer business matters and said the leaked material doesn't reflect its business reality. So there's clearly some pushbacks on the details, even if the broader relationship isn't in dispute. I'll keep tracking this as more documents potentially surface. So this was the details about the leak. Subscribe if you want the follow up and let me know in the comments, does this change how you see the Abraham Accords? See you in the next one.